everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, today is the start of the ultimate vegan health and weight loss bundle. So we're going to be doing probably up to 5 shows a day here on YouTube. We'll try to stream them also to Facebook and Twitter, and I'll try to go live as often as I can on Instagram to introduce you to the many bundle contributors. There are over 100 of your favorite plant-based chefs, medical doctors, influencers, athletes who have contributed brand new products, ebooks, courses, videos, exclusive videos, coupons that did not appear in any other bundle. Most of this was created brand new. It is worth almost $6,500. But you pay for the next 10 days only $49 for over 122 of these products. I myself created a brand new course that's over 3 hours called Fall in Love with Vegetables, a 65-page ebook that I will sell for $97 after the bundle. You get it all for $49. So to kick off bundle week, we have one of our contributors named Cathy Fisher. She's from Straight Up Food, the blog and the book of the same name. She is a culinary instructor at the TrueNorth Health Center and for the McDougall Program. And she has found a way to teach you guys how to make salad dressings, because without sauce, it's just eating a bunch of lettuce. And her course sells for $55. So for $49, you're getting her course and everybody else's. Please welcome Cathy Fisher to the show. Hello, Cathy.
Hey, AJ. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yay.
So you're in the bundle. Tell us about your course. And also I love to hear what you like about the other people's courses too, because that's important. It's not just about us, it's about everybody.
Right. Okay. So I made a brand new video course and it's called Quick and Easy Salad Dressings. And I made it because I was encouraged to do a course this year. Last year I did an ebook. So I took the challenge. And I thought, what subject am I going to do? And I thought of salad dressings because people ask me about salad dressings all the time in my classes, how to do them healthfully, health promoting. So I thought I would dig into that. And in the beginning, I called it a mini course, but by the time it was done, I think it's like a maxi course now. So it's got 11 videos and each video is a different salad dressing. And I demo it right here in my kitchen. And each video is probably like 8 to 10 minutes long. So it's not me just putting ingredients together and that's it. I talk about the ingredients that I use, about the tools I use, about the techniques I use. So you will learn a lot in every video. And then I have additional videos that I have an introduction video. So if you're not familiar with me and my work, I tell you about me, I tell you about the course. I tell you how you can create your own salad dressings from scratch if you're so inclined. And I provide a roadmap, which is the 7 different categories of ingredients that go into salad dressings, such as the vegetables, the spicy stuff, the liquids, all of that. And I make it really easy for people to create their own dressings. And then I also provide a list of the tools. So I just make it real easy for people to jump in. And I also talk about why I haven't bought salad dressings from a store in years. And as you can guess, it's the ingredients, but I kind of take a deep dive into the ingredients and talk about that so people will understand why those aren't so good for us.
I agree. I mean, bottled salad dressing. I mean, I think about when I was little. Remember Bob's Big Boy blue cheese dressing in the jar?
Yes. And the ranch dressing, the Hidden Valley Ranch. And so I talk about ranch in particular, because I'm going to make a ranch dressing today. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, they have chemicals that I can't even pronounce. Like if you look at the label for honey mustard, oh my God, I like letters and chemicals and it's sugar, fat, and salt. I think people need to know that sugar, fat, and salt are addictive, and that's why they like these salad dressings.
Exactly. There's so much to be afraid of. Things specifically, I learned some things that I didn't know. I learned about citric acid, which was very interesting. And I talk about that in the course, which is natural, but there are other issues with it. I talk about MSG. I talk about natural flavors and artificial flavors. So there's a lot of learning there besides just the salad dressing recipes that I make. And as far as the other things in the bundle, there is so many good things in there. So for example, a few of the things that jumped out to me were the live Zoom calls with Dr. Goldhammer and Dr. Furman. I think that would
going to be great.
Yeah, because then you can ask those guys anything you want. I think that's going to be great. There was a course on cravings. That's something that a lot of people deal with and they need a little help with. So, and a lot of these this year are video courses, which is going to be so helpful besides just having the ebook, but having the course. There's another offering that's all about Instant Pot, which I have the Instant Pot and I'm always learning more and wanting more recipes for that. There's something called the Mexican Fiesta course.
Yeah, and there's a Japanese course too. It's like there's so many different ethnicities in the course.
Yeah. In Costa Rica, a Costa Rican recipe course. There's a yoga certification course, which I thought was great. I'm not getting certified, but I thought what a neat offering for people who love to do yoga. And I also really liked and noticed that the National Health Association is offering the replay of their last conference. So I think that is really like a good meaty offering. And then there's another one called Chemicals and Gut Health. You know, we're all thinking about our guts nowadays. So that's a really interesting one too. So there's so many. How many are there now, AJ? Like 100?
I think it's 122.
122 different things. So, you know, I remember last year people making the comment like, oh, that's so many. Just, it's like you pay the $49 for the bundle, you go in and you just shop. You find the things that you like, you download those things. You don't have to download them all if you don't want to. And even if you only, like you said at the top of the show, if you only get 1 or 2 or 3 things, it's totally worth it. It's such a good deal because everything after the bundle ends is going to be sold individually at higher prices. So
absolutely. It's worth over $6,000 right now.
Yeah, it's all there. And there's so many different things. And I love that it's not all just recipes. You know,
there's a declutter course.
Decluttering. There's one about building muscle, all kinds of stuff. So take a look. And to take a look at all the offerings is free. Just go to the page, go to my link, which AJ will put in the comments, and just look at them all. And it's a beautiful page. You can see everybody's covered, a little description of everything. It's really neat.
It's in the show notes right now.
Okay.
Your link, I promise, because I did that. I'll double check it, but I did it before we went live. So yeah, ranch dressing is very popular.
It is. It's the #1 dressing in the US. Who knew?
I did not know that, but it makes sense.
It is. There's a ranking and I forget it off the top of my head, but you know, blue cheese, Thousand Island, they're all up there. But ranch is #1. So I did want to make sure to make ranch dressing in the course. And today, because everybody just loves it so much. So
probably because it's creamy. People like creamy things.
Yeah. Creamy, rich things. So today I'm going to make ranch, which is a creamy, rich salad dressing. And then I'm going to make a low fat salad dressing. And I do both in my course. So you have a little bit of each.
Nice.
All right. And I also have my cookbook sitting here because I wanted to mention both the recipes I'm making today are in my cookbook. So if you have this, they are in there. And also in my course, I have all the recipes in a PDF so you can easily download them and print them out. And yeah. So, and if you don't have this and you're interested, it's on Amazon. It's easy to find. All righty. So I'll jump in.
Jump in.
Jump in. Yay. Okay.
How do we get the bundle? I'm going to, Carol, I see you're watching on YouTube. If you would just please look under the video, there's a clickable link and it's Cathy's link. So she'll get the credit. Okay, guys, I'll put it in the chat too, because I guess they're not looking at the show notes. So I'll get that for Cathy. You don't have to worry about that.
All right.
Pick it up.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the ranch dressing. And if you guys have any questions as I'm going along, just put them in the comments and AJ will relay them to me. And also I emphasize as few ingredients as possible. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this has 9 ingredients. That's one of my longer ones, but most of my dressing recipes have about 5 or 6 ingredients, pretty easy. And I use things that are pretty common, easy to find ingredients.
Cathy, I just need to address a question in the chat.
Yeah.
If we buy the bundle, do we have lifetime access? If you download it, so you have 1 year from the date of purchase to download it. If you do not download it, that's not our problem. So I suggest you download it, when you get it. And then of course you have lifetime access.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
As you
Good
were.
question.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's important that people know. I mean, because there are people literally that will come back to us 2 years. Well, I didn't download it. I'm like, well, that's like saying, you buy something at the store, like, a jar of tahini, and you don't open it for 2 years. Like, well, hey, that's not my problem. You got to download it.
Exactly. And this is the first day of the bundle. So ask all the questions you guys have because they always happen right in the beginning. So, I'm going to use my TriBest personal blender here. I do have my Vitamix here, but it's a little too big for the amount of dressing I want to make. So I'm going to use my small blender. And this comes with cups, tall cups. This is a short cup that I'm going to use right now. Okay, so the first two ingredients, and this is the rich and creamy dressing, are the half cup, about 2 ounces of raw unsalted cashews. And whenever I buy nuts and seeds, I always get them raw unsalted. So they're already in there. And then a half cup of water. So these have been soaking for a while. Cashews are a pretty soft nut anyway, kind of like pine nuts and walnuts. They're soft compared to almonds, but I soak them anyway, just to kind of help them along. But a good trick to know is if you're in a rush and you didn't have time to soak them, you can always just give them a little pre-blend. So if I had just combined the nuts in the water right now, just give them a little pre-blend and then let it sit and soak while you're getting everything else together. That way all the little nut pieces will soften more quickly. Okay. So half cup raw unsalted cashews, half cup of water. And I'm going to put that I'm going to put this over here so I don't actually knock it over. And what I'm doing with this recipe is I tried to recreate the Hidden Valley Ranch. We always grew up with the packet, not so much the bottle. So that's what I'm going for here. So I'm going to leave in all the ingredients of a traditional store-bought ranch dressing, and I'm going to take out the ingredients that are not so good for health. And one of the ingredients that's pretty standard is a little lemon juice. So we're going to do 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And 1 lemon at the average size is about 3 to 4 tablespoons. And with this juicer, you want to put it in flat side down. Okay. And you can use lemon juice that you don't squeeze from fresh. I always buy fresh, but I know some people like to have convenience. So feel free to buy lemon juice that's already squeezed if you want to. And now we're going to measure out 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. And then next,
friend of yours here.
Pardon me?
I have a friend of yours here that wants to say hello.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, you can't see me?
Oh, I was looking at my camera. Bailey.
Yes.
Bailey. She is so cute.
She's very excited that you're going to come visit her.
Oh, I can't wait.
You're like,
I live with
friends.
I live with 3 kitties, so it'll be fun to see a dog. All right. So the next thing we're going to put in is a teaspoon of vinegar, just a little bit. Lemon juice and vinegar are slightly different, and we like to get levels of flavor. So we're going to put in just a little bit of vinegar. If you're a person who didn't eat vinegar, just leave it out. No big deal. I'm just using some apple cider vinegar here. So just 1 little teaspoon.
Sharon wants to know what the little blender is. And Tina just got the bundle. Thank you, Tina. I hope you enjoy it. And as my grandmother would say, use it in good health. Wow, somebody's watching from Rome. How cool is that? Nana rocks. Ooh. Boy, I've never been to Italy. I bet it's awesome. But I guess when you live somewhere, it's maybe not as awesome, huh? But maybe it is.
I love where I live.
He says the bundle has lots of fabulous contributors. I'm looking forward to going through the bundle and applying many of the ideas this year.
Aw, so nice.
Fantastic.
Thank you. All right, so now we have the nuts, the water, the lemon juice, and the 1 teaspoon of vinegar. And I used apple cider. You can use another kind if you want to, but we're trying to mimic the traditional ranch dressing. So next I'm going to do a little bit of garlic, just a half teaspoon, and I'm using the dried garlic and the dried onion, half teaspoon of each, because again, I'm trying to mimic that packet of ranch dressing. Fresh garlic has a very different flavor than the dried. And in the packet, everything was dried. It's kind of a deeper, mellower flavor, whereas fresh garlic is a little brighter. Nothing wrong with that, but we're just trying to stick with that traditional ranch flavor. And I use granulated. You can use powdered or minced, it doesn't really matter. All right, and then next we're going to put, so we have 2 more ingredients to come, but we're just going to blend this first and then add the last 2 ingredients, because when you had ranch dressing, you probably remember there's little green flecks in there, and we want to be able to see those, the onion and the dill, so we don't want to overblend those. So we'll get this nice and creamy first, and then we'll add those. All right. Take a look at it. If it's too thick, you can add a little bit of water. This does not look too thick, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then also, since we're using nuts as the base, as this sits, it will thicken up a little bit. So if it is on the thinner side, don't worry about it. It will thicken up. So the last 2 ingredients are 1 green onion, also known as a, what is it, AJ?
Scallion.
Scallion, right. That just left my brain. So we're just going to cut off the root end. I cut off the little other end as well. And then there's that always that little sad one that's just hanging on. So I usually take that off too. This looks like it's not too happy. And then this is going in the blender, but I'm giving it a little bit of a chop so it will fit into the blender nicely. And we want the white parts and the green parts. And this cup is just big enough for this amount. You know what? Throughout the years, I've kind of discovered, and maybe you've felt this too, AJ, that most of my followers are 1 or 2 people. So I get more requests or comments like for smaller amounts rather than bigger amounts. So what I do with my dressings is I tend to make them in quantities of about 1 cup or 1.5 cups. And then if you want more, just double it or triple it. Plus, the good thing about making a small amount is you use it up, and then when it's all gone, you make a different kind. And the one thing about making your own dressings is they don't last as long, but you are as long as store-bought dressings, but you're getting better health. You're getting delicious dressings with high quality ingredients. You get to make it the way you want it. I mean, there's so many benefits. And the thing about store-bought dressings too is, you know, if you do find one that doesn't have oil in it, they compensate by adding something super weird and not good to it to make it kind of creamy and not separate, emulsifiers, solvents, and just not good stuff. I don't know why I'm picking so much of this because I'm talking. I don't need this much. Okay, so I'm just picking off some dill here. This is fresh dill. This is one way to buy it. They seem to sell the dill in these little clamshells more than just the bunches. So that's one way to get it. The recipe only calls for 2 teaspoons of fresh dill, and you can use dried if you don't have fresh. And there's an amount there if you want to use the dried. And so even though this is getting blended, again, we do a little preparation to it so we can measure it out beforehand. Because once it's chopped, it becomes a much smaller pile.
And once you chop, you just can't stop.
I know, it's so fun and meditative. Okay. All righty, we're going to do one, what did I say? Two teaspoons-ish. You can add extra if you love dill. I love dill. So I'm going to go a little extra there. I'm going to set this right there and I'll put that on my salad for lunch today.
You know, have you ever heard of is it called Lighthouse? They have these, I bought these during the pandemic when, you know, pickings were slim. They're not dried spices. I think they're freeze dried, and they make one that's like all the ranch things together.
Oh, with nothing weird in it?
I don't think so. I mean, if Bailey wasn't on my lap right now, I would go grab it. But I think so. It's kind of cool. Okay. Susan says, looks delicious. I have your cookbook, Cathy. And another Cathy with a K is saying, I wonder if plant milk would be too runny. If so, maybe some cannellini beans or oats. And did you use dried dill? Hi, Julie.
Yes. So you can use dried dill if you want. I believe I have it written here. You use 3/4 teaspoon if you don't have fresh. And yes, thanks for reminding me. If you don't want to do cashews in particular or nuts and seeds in general, because you're trying to lower your calories, you can use white beans, the good old cooked white bean trick. And I have some right here. These are navy beans, but you could use white cannellini beans or great northern beans, whatever you like, in place of the cashews, because we want them to be white because we want to go for that white ranch appearance. And some people really
don't use black beans for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it would taste good, but it wouldn't look so good. And the how it looks matters. And there's also a spectrum. You don't have to use all cashews or all white beans. You could do half and half or mostly white beans and just add 2 little cashews, just a little bit of richness. Okay. And I don't remember if I answered it. This is called the TriBest Personal Blender. And in my video course, I have a special download with all my favorite tools as well. So this is in there. And I use this thing all the time. And then I also have the big Vitamix. So it's good to have a little low volume blender like this. I grind flax seeds in this, and it's just perfect for salad dressings. And people will say, oh, I have a NutriBullet. Fine, use that. If it ever breaks, get a TriBest. They're great. These are plastic. They don't have BPA in them, but you can get glass too if you want. All right, so we've got the green onions in there and the dill, and now we're just going to blend it, but not too far. We don't want just a homogeneous light green dressing. We want to be able to see those little flecks in there. All right, take a look. That looks really perfect. And then also I can see how some of the little nuts I can see the little pieces, which is fine. But it always seems to take a little longer to blend than you think, especially when you're using nuts and seeds. I just said I was done, but I'm going to give it a little extra. Okay. Another thing I talk about in my course is how to store your salad dressings, what to put them in, how to refrigerate them, how to freeze them. All right, so this makes about 1 cup. So I'm going to put it just in this. This is bigger than 1 cup, but I'm just going to put it in that so you can see what it looks like. And AJ, can you see that at all with the little green flecks?
A little bit, yeah, I can. And
can.
Somebody's asking if the recipe will be posted. So what would you like me to say to that?
Yes, posted. I mean, it's part of the course. It's in the cookbook.
Yeah. You want me to post a link to the cookbook or just say, get the bundle, people?
Either one. Either one works. But if you get the bundle, I mean, you'll see all the videos, you get all the videos. But I don't know if that's in focus, but you can see the little green pieces in there. And that's what, I mean, it looks like ranch dressing. So, And this is just one kind of container. I like this little mason jar with the plastic lid. I don't like those metal 2-piece lids. And it's got the little handle. And also I considered using this one, which is so cute. And it's like a salad dressing perfect shape. But this one I like to use for thinner, low-fat dressings because it's an OXO container. I love OXO because this little spout is kind of small. So with the thick dressings, it can kind of back up a little right here. But if it's a thin, easy to pour dressing, then that one works great. Okay, so that's it. That's our ranch dressing. And let me just clear my space here and we'll do the next one. I'll put that over there. I'll put that there. And let me rinse the top off of this. This blender comes with 2 different blades. This is called the blending blade. And then there's a 2-prong one called a grinding blade, but I tend to use this one for everything. Okay, so there's the ranch. Put it in the fridge. It will last, I say, like 3 to 5 days. You can also freeze these if you want. They freeze really well. You don't even have to reblend them after they thaw out. Just give them a little stir or a shake and they'll be just fine. All right, so let's move on to the next recipe, which is the low-fat dressing. And this one I call a tomato vinaigrette. So this is your standard Italian dressing, but we're going to change out a few things. There's some problems with traditional Italian dressing, which is oil, biggie, salt, and lots of sugar. When I was researching this, I remember seeing like a 1/4 cup of white sugar in Italian dressing. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to use my Tri-Best again, and I'm going to use the tall cup this time because this one makes about 1.5 cups. So sometimes when I'm making over a traditional recipe, I will try to find something that's similar to the thing that I'm replacing. But with this, I'm replacing the oil with something that looks nothing like or tastes nothing like oil, and that is a tomato. But it works. I have dill all over this, so let me rinse it off. Tomatoes and cucumbers make great bases for salad dressings because they're soft, you know, like compared to a carrot. I don't use those in salad dressings. Maybe if it was cooked. So just get like 1 medium tomato. Doesn't have to be exact. We're going for maybe 3/4 cup chopped. I do cut this hard center part out. If you want to use cherry tomatoes or plum tomatoes, you can use those if you like. And Italian dressing is often kind of has like a pink hue to it. So when this is all done, you'll see how it really looks like Italian dressing. Okay. All right. So there's our oil substitute. And I think this very same dressing would be fine with a cucumber instead of a tomato. So if you don't need tomatoes or nightshades, use a cucumber. So the next thing is Italian dressing is very tiny. So we're going to go back to the apple cider vinegar here. And we're going to do about 1/4 cup. And I have water in there. Let me pour that out. So we're going to do 1/4 cup. And if you make this and you think, oh, that's too much or that's too little, go ahead and adjust it. Make it how you like it. Because everybody's different. It's so interesting being a recipe creator because you're catering to all these different tastes. So you kind of hope you get most people in there. All right, 1/4 cup. Next, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of mustard. And there it is. I work at TrueNorth Health Center where we don't add any salt, oil, or sugar. So this is a salt-free mustard. It's called Westbury Natural. There is another brand that's salt-free called Organicville. And these are kind of hit and miss. Organicville, I find at Whole Foods. This one I don't, but I just order it online. And then I get 3 at a time. All right, so I'm going for 2 tablespoons. And this measuring spoon is already wet because I just had, it It was wet from the lemon juice, I think. So it helps to have your measuring spoon wet because then the mustard slides out easier and it doesn't all stick in. You don't have to get it out at the end. Okay. All righty. So there's that. And then we're going to put a little cumin in, 1 teaspoon. And cumin is that thing, in addition to cilantro, that I hear people say every once in a while, I don't like cumin. I love it, so I'm putting it in. If you don't like cumin, just leave it out. Put another dried spice in that you do like. All right. And then last, we're going to do a clove of garlic, fresh garlic this time. And let me just wipe off my cutting board because I'm getting a little messy. So 1 clove of garlic, which I have not peeled yet because I love to show my little garlic tricks. This is called a garlic sleeve. It's a silicone tool. And then you just put your garlic clove in and roll it. And pour it out. And whoop, all that little garlic paper comes off. It's like magic. I just love that. So
somebody's asking what the poster is behind you with cats.
oh, and it's tilted. That isn't a poster. It's actually a dishcloth that I saw somewhere. I love cats. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to frame that. So it's just a dishcloth. And it's been up there for so many years. I don't even remember where I got it. But I have learned now that if you just go on Google and you type in cat positions dishcloth, you will find it. It is all out there. So try that. All right, so I've got the garlic here, and fresh garlic in this amount is very potent. So I think I'm going to hold this one out and not use it because I don't want to overdo it with the garlic. And then I'm just going to use this one. And even though I'm using a blender, I just like to help my appliances a little bit. I do chop it or give it a few slices just to help it. We don't want that random piece that didn't get blended happening. All right, so I think that's everything. Yep. Here we go. Now the tomatoes have their skins on them. So again, you want to blend it a little more than you think it needs because those tomato skins, we want to get them really blended up. That looks good. Look at the color. See, it's kind of a pinky brown mauve color. This is the dressing that I put on my 4-bean salad, but it makes a great standalone dressing as well. So I always take a look at it. If you want to get a spoon and taste it, kind of see how those tomatoes are being blended up. It's still got some little chunks in there. So I'm going to give it another blend. So good. So good. Let's give it another blend. All right. So I'm going to call that done. And this makes about a cup and a half. And for this one, I'm going to put it in this little cool salad dressing holder. And I really like this one because it has this little you blend it up. It's kind of fun, AJ, like that garlic tool that you gifted Denise so long ago. It's kind of so, and it's got different, if you turn this, there it's like closed. If you turn it a little more, there's a small spout. And then if you turn it a little more, there's like a bigger spout. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this right in there. And I see a few little tomato chunks still. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And there we go. Isn't that a pretty color? It's kind of pinky brown, got some little specks in it. And if you know you love hot and spicy, you could add some black pepper, some red pepper flakes, or some cayenne, or whatever your choice for hot and spicy is. I just love this thing. So there we go. How easy are those? All right, AJ, I think I'm done. Any other questions?
Well, let me come look.
Yeah.
Any questions for Ms. Fisher, you guys?
So I show you how to make 9 other dressings in addition to these 2, and lots more is in the video course. So go check it out. And if you have any questions at all about what I do or the bundle or the course, you can always email me, Cathy with a C at straightupfood.com, and I'll answer you.
So Lisa says, I missed the ranch demo. Will the recipes be posted anymore? They're part of the bundle. If you go to the show notes, guys, show notes are just like, if you're typing, you're looking at the video. If you just click the more, all the show notes are there. So you can get the bundle and you can get Cathy's course for less than what the course sells for, because with this bundle, it's almost $6,500 worth of content. For $49, you get 122 unique pieces of content, courses, ebooks, all brand new. And there's a question, what is your favorite dressing?
Oh, my favorite dressing. I love a little sweet dressing. So anything with that apple cider vinegar, I love. Let's see. I love them all because I made them all, you know. I don't put a recipe up unless I love it. So I really do love them all. When I'm having company or something, I'll make the ranch because I know everybody loves ranch and they're going to recognize this and they're not going to think it's weird health food dressing. I have a dressing in the course called curried. Wait, what's it called? Curried. It's the dressing that goes with my curried sweet potato salad. And it's also cashew based. It has curry, it has orange juice, it has orange zest, and a little garlic. That one's really interesting because it's got levels going on as well. And I have a strawberry balsamic that is really good. Strawberries and balsamic vinegar just go really well together. But you could use a flavored balsamic. And that's something I wanted to mention too. Often when I don't want to make a dressing, I'll just use some flavored balsamic vinegars, which I didn't set out, but I can show you. Balsamic vinegars have come a long way, as AJ knows. This is the 7-herb Italian. And you can just put that right on your salad if you don't want to make one from scratch, but they come in all kinds of flavors. And AJ, remember when I came and visited you and we made snow cones?
Oh my God, that was fun. Are you going to visit me soon? We can make snow cones.
I love that. That's a good memory in my mind. And we had all different flavors, like sweeter, like chocolate and raspberry and orange. You put it on the snow cone ice and it's so delicious. That blew my mind. So
nice. What's your favorite flavor of balsamic vinegar?
I haven't tried one yet that I don't like. I just bought the teriyaki and I know you rave about that one and I'm really liking that one, but I like these that have the little herbs floating around in them. This is the 7-herb Italian. And then there's another one in my cupboard called the dill and mustard balsamic.
I love it too.
I know.
I feel like, you know, they're so flavorful. You don't need to use a lot.
No, a little goes a long way.
Tina says, do you have a sesame ginger dressing on your website?
I don't know if it's on my website, but it's in my book. There are a few things that are in the book that aren't on the website because, you know, I wanted to make some things exclusive to the book. So I don't remember if that's on my website, straightupfood.com or not, but you could check. It's one of the 11 that I make in my course, though. It's a ginger tahini lemon. I have a bad memory. But that one's in the course, and it is tahini based instead of cashew based. So you can use, and one of the dressings that I do in my course, I use sesame seed and sunflower seeds, just to show you that you can use other fat sources. You could use tofu. You could, the combos are, it's like music. The combinations are endless. And you can customize.
Okay, so there is a nice comment from Anne. I met Cathy in the parking lot at Chef AJ's live conference 3 weeks ago. She's so calm, lovely lady, bought her book, told her I live not far from her. Straight up food is truly straight up.
Nice. Thank you, Anne. That's so nice. That was such a fun event, just like 3 weeks ago, I guess, at this point, or 2 weeks ago.
It was on the 15th. It really was fun.
Very fun. Well, thanks for the comment. And the calmness, yeah, that's the adjective that gets attributed to me more than any other. And I was rewatching my videos that I made for the course, and it's so funny watching yourself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am really calm. Because when it's you in your own body, you're just you. And then you watch it and you're like, huh, interesting. That's just the way I am. I don't know why.
Wow. Yeah, that must be a genetic thing, huh?
It must be. My mom's pretty calm. My dad's pretty calm. Yeah, must be. But I'm in more of a like introvert observer type. So I just kind of keep it mellow. Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
That's
Any other
so cool.
questions?
Isn't using tahini like consuming oil?
Well, oils, I say all oils are fats, but not all fats are oils. So oils are very refined and processed in most cases. But the oil that sits on top of the jar of tahini, which is ground sesame seeds, it's just separated when they blended up the sesame seeds. So you can stir it in. I mean, it hasn't been refined except for the blending, So you can, this is a trick I learned from Mary McDougall. She used to use it for peanut butter. The layer of oil on top, you could just pour off into the garbage can. You don't want to put it in your sink because, it's all oily. So you can just put it in the garbage can, or you can stir it in. I mean, it came from all the stuff that's under it. It's not bad, but what would you say, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the individual. I'm so tired of the fat wars because I think there are people that can eat fat and be healthy and trim, and there's people that can't. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't think that oil is good, but you're right, that what's on the top is basically the oil. Seeds and nuts are still 90% fat, even though they have health benefits like fiber and vitamins and minerals and things like that. So
Yeah.
what can I tell you?
Yeah. So
you're lucky you can eat that fat and stay trim, but then again, you can eat half a cookie.
half a cookie. It'll say that on my gravestone. She only wanted a half a cookie.
Yeah, you're hilarious. So again, people join late and they want to know how to buy the bundle. So I'm going to put Cathy's link in the chat again, and it's also in the show notes. And you will have a spectacular of time downloading it and looking at all the wonderful content. I guarantee you have Cathy's course, you have my course, a brand new course from Nutmeg Notebook on batch cooking. I mean, any of these are worth the price of the bundle, which is $49, but only for the next 10 days. And when it's gone, it's gone. And we know we're going to get emails at 12:01 p.m. on February 13th. And we're going to have to say, I'm so sorry. So at least click the link and look what it is and then be blown away. There's a course by Dr. McDougall in there, Dr. Furman, Dr. Nikki Davis, who's on at 11 talking about the healing power of smoothies and answering your medical questions, Dr. Tiana Jenkins, Dr. Vanessa Mendez. There's just a lot of doctors in the bundle. I think we're one of the only bundles that get all the wonderful doctors to join. Dr. Stefan Esser, Dr. Frank Sabatino. So it's doctors, it's chefs, it's influencers, it's athletes. It's more than you could ever dream of. So thanks, Cathy. Thanks for being in the bundle. And I look forward to your visit pretty soon.
All right. Thanks so much, AJ. See you guys later.
Right. Take care. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back in an hour for Dr. Nikki Davis and the healing power of smoothies. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.